more or nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of More or Nothing. Episode 2, Season 2. Huge one coming up. We have got Leicester's new star signing, Ben Volavola, coming on as well as Stevie Ray. There's a bit of a bonus treat at the end as well that the boys are going to be... are you getting in a ring with him? Anyway, lots of fun coming up. We're here with Max and Ryan. Maxie with the dub. There he is. Wins the wins.
By the way, that just for anyone like watching this, and I'm just giggling away. There's actually tears in my eye. That made me laugh so much for some reason. We're doing this live-ish, and and the intro music goes on, and it's all live. And I just saw Mark disappear, and he got put in the waiting room, and he just came up. I'm sure we can re-clip that somehow. But oh my god, that was so funny. Why did I find that so funny?
Well, I'm waving hysterically, mate, in the whole time, being like, I'm not in, but it just says your microphone's muted. So anyway,
Max, why did you not put 100 on Newcastle? I can't believe it.
Ring rust, and also a Stephen Diamond coach team are a little bit more starchy. Also, the first half was just tit for tat. To be fair to the lads, they were clanging and banging. It took an 80-minute game to grind them down and get the bonus point win away from home at Kingston Park. Win's a win, baby. That's all we needed. That's all we wanted. Objective achieved.
Yeah, you've got to be happy, haven't you? First game of the season, getting the 5 points under the belt, but it did. I mean, it didn't look. It wasn't a great advert for rugby up there, was it? It was. I do worry about Newcastle. I know. Don't slag them off. Did you come across my old mate Tom Gordon, the 7, little grub?
Was he? Is he the man with the mullet? Yeah. Yes.
He recognised the mullet as a fellow mullet.
Yeah, as a
aficionado,
mullet connoisseur. I saw that proud sprouting hair from a mile away.
Mate, I saw he had a little line break, didn't he? And then butchered the pass. But he's a good boy, Tommy G. He's a very good boy, like outdoorsy man. You know, proper typical Kiwi, just likes hunting and killing things, and just he wears those checkered long shirts that they love, and he's got a mullet. He's just good man. Little grub, like wouldn't wash for a week.
When men were men, absolutely. It's a trademark in New Zealand though, isn't it? Like those dudes just live in the elements. They're still kind of like a little feral. I like it though. It's what makes them such great codesmen.
I don't know, but by all accounts, you dusted their scrum up. I know you won't want to sing your own praises, but you had them in reverse, didn't you?
Wait, Ryan. The comms did all the dusting, did all the praise we need. Bullied, alphaed, emasculated. Some of the words that were noted.
Oh God, that is a lot. But yeah,
what would you have thrown in, Max? Because you're good at your words.
Don't know. I don't like doing that. I'll
do it.
I'll stick to my humility because you're only as good as your last scrum, and week on week, life comes at you fast in this game, especially in the scrum in the front row. So,
oh no, was it a fellow Scotsman, Murray McCallum? It wasn't them, was it?
No, Murray McCallum came on. Actually, the scrum's completion went up a lot when the substitute front rows came on. It just got a lot cleaner. And
okay.
It was a bit tit for tat. Like there was a lot going on the floor. There was a lot of sort of different perceptions from the referee of what was going on, such as the way of the scrum at this point in the game. It's a hard thing to make sense of at times. I feel like refs have it hard, especially seeing as none of them have ever actually been in a scrum. So it makes it very difficult for these guys to sort of actually know intimately what's going on. They're going on pictures of what they're seeing and what they're educated on. So it is difficult. I do have empathy and compassion for them in that regard.
That is such a good way of saying, and it's such a polite and lovely way of saying that the ref was shite at the weekend.
No, bro, we won. We won.
Yeah, no, I know you won, but listen, I watched Glasgow Ulster game, and there was some absolute shocking decisions. It was pretty shite, but I'm happy to say it because I'm not out there. But you're right. Let's get the refs actually involving themselves in more scrums.
Chuck them in
hacking down.
Yeah, like get them all together, just the 3-on-3. Do a little bit.
Go on, Piercy, get in this.
Yeah, get in there. Have a go. Have a go at the cold face.
Yeah, too right. I'm all
Enough
for that.
cold-face chat between more
me and
points
Gus.
for Naulaga's try or Max Malin's try from McGinty Magic, because they were both pretty sweet.
I do like Seaver's sort of acrobatics there. And then he also had like 3 tackles on the bounce, like consecutive. The man's a psychopath. He needs to go to a ward. Absolutely clean off. He's like a werewolf on the edge. He just wants to maim people.
He also gave your man a little pat on the back after as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Brass.
Vanaka.
No. He had a strong game, Seaver. He is when he's flying, as he is now. Horrible to deal with.
He was quite literally flying. No, it was a good win, Max. Listen, we didn't jinx it too much. I know you didn't get 100 points. I know that Shaq, who's helping edit this right now, put the bet on 100-0. So, we're all good. We're all good. I rolled into the weekend URC. I'm back. It was a busy old weekend. Obviously got some golfing as well.
Mate, you're going to be real good soon, surely.
That's the plan. Although I swear, the more you play, the shitter you get.
That's what they say, don't they? That's what Tom said.
It feels like it. It's weird. But had a lovely day out at the Renaissance. Played it twice in 1 week, which is apparently unheard of. You can't go there unless you go with a member. Friday night was back in there at Leinster, Edinburgh, or Edinburgh, Leinster, that way round.
What sort of people go to the Renaissance? Are they quite well-to-do?
Oh, well, yeah. I think you're 100.
Like Eyes Wide Shut vibes. Like you guys have weird like ceremonies and get maybe the odd orgy and swinger parties, etc.
Oh, what goes on in there?
Thank you to our new sponsors at the Renaissance. Thank you for.
No. I mean nothing. I mean, say nothing. Say no more.
But no, it was lovely. It is a nice spot though. You would love it, Max. I'll get when you're up next. Well, actually, you're up next Saturday. We'll talk about that in a minute. But when you're up next, we'll have to get across there. And then obviously over for the Glasgow Warriors match in Belfast, did a few games over there, and I was paired up with my old mate Simon Zebo. I was like, what could possibly go wrong here? Me and Simon Zebo, just a couple of microphones. They're like, just do what you want. And I was like, boys, this is a terrible idea. I can't believe you're just letting us loose. I'm leading him astray. Equally, he's leading me astray. But more importantly, I don't know if we've got a clip. Mark, what were you up to at the weekend?
Ooh.
What were you? You were drunk again, weren't you? Were you drunk again?
It's the F1 in Singapore, so it was like a really big weekend. Did saw the Cause and Kylie, so it was a good double and some Formula One. But Saturday was pretty. A friend of mine who lives here and grew up here, very crazy rich Asians evening. It was like mad. It was like proper madness. Went to like some party where they closed off the entire place. Everything was just handed to you. It was free. Then went to a club where genuinely a guy ordered 10 bottles.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Oh, so this is...
that's okay, well, that doesn't need describing. Anyway, that's not Crazy Rich Asians. That's just me and my wife at Kylie Minogue, who was playing.
That didn't.
Oh, nice surprise, guys. Lovely.
This is it.
That's class.
It's just so people that are listening, they need to know what's going on as well. Because if you're watching this, you will have just seen there was a clip that just got thrown off. It wasn't of the F1. It was of you properly. Who was that? Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue.
You're a big fan, are you?
Big fan. She's we're four rows away. So close. Could almost touch her.
I'll be honest. I mean, sure, your wife thought she was there with her gay best friend again because it was
Yeah, it seems to be a recurring theme whenever I go to these concerts. She's like, "Who is this guy?" But yeah, great fun. And then it was all pretty. It was pretty wild, boys. We should do the F1. It's really fun. The parties around it, the whole thing is is seriously enjoyable.
The F1,
yes.
the F1. If I had any control it, I would just get them to play the clip again, just like the clip again, like now. Here we go. Here it is.
Yeah, time of my life. All right, let's move this on. Let's move on this terrible conversation. Big thank you to the lad who bought shed loads of champagne for everybody, whoever he was. Very nice guy.
Tough life.
But yeah, it's worth anybody who's been to the Formula One, everything around it, seeing the cause as well. So like my 90s version of me was just in seventh heaven. So rugby. In any case, rugby boys, come on. So much has happened this weekend. So phenomenal victory for the Pumas against our favourite South African Springboks, guys.
Right. So, lads, first thing I did after this historic win, I had to do it. I went straight to the Springboks X handle, read the comments. They're calling for public executions of everyone, including Rassie. It was mental. I've not seen a rebuke in all my time. And let's not even get started on poor Manny. They're pretty much putting all of their repressed childhood trauma on Manny Lebok. It's mental. The expectations that go with that shirt is wild. Hey, if you don the green and gold and don't get it right, I'll knock your bloody head flat. Mate, mental. But great scenes for Argentina. And we're back to the original question. After all that, we bigged them up. We said, South Africa, world domination. It's here. It's here for years. Like the All Blacks of old. Argentina, go and spoil the party. How good.
That was it. There's almost that romance. I mentioned with the All Blacks, it's become the South African thing now. There's something like you don't really want them to get beat.
Yeah.
And I've bought into that. And then this happens. You're like, oh, what has happened?
No.
What has happened? They were going far too well. Poor old Manny Lebok, though.
I know. I think that's unfair. They had chances to win the game. Like it's an 80-minute game. Come on now. Come on.
We have a wonderful South African following here, so I'm sure the comments will be lit up. And let us know what you think. But you've got to give the bloke a bit of a break. I do feel for him. But hey, Argentina, where did that come from? Although, give them their due. They've done the All Blacks, they've done the Aussies, and now they've done the South Africans. Something's brewing there. Something's a brewing.
They could still win it. Guys. I know it's very unlikely, but if they pick up a bonus point and hold the Springboks back, it's not going to be easy, but they're still in with a chance. So anyway, that is incredible from them.
Who would have thought that?
No, unbelievable scenes. But yeah, first time ever Argentina's done that. And that's the sign of the times. And we're back to the original statement. Who is the best team in the world? Oh, wait, it's the plucky men of the Emerald Isle.
Well, that's it. Ireland jumped to the top. How fucked up is that? Like the world rankings now, like 1 to 10. So, Max, you're saying Ireland. Are you literally saying Ireland?
The standings are telling me. And I do exactly what I'm told because the standings are the standings.
Oh my goodness! Hold on a minute. Australia have dropped to 10th. Fiji are above them now. It's just.
But they almost beat the All Blacks, guys. That was very close. Come on, let's give them some due after what a difficult week it's been for them.
Is again a very interesting development after last week. A lot can change in rugby in a week. It's wild.
Just a quick word, boys. Has this happened to you before? But you know that South Africa and Argentina travel together on a charter flight to South Africa from Santiago del Estero after the match.
No, they're not. They didn't. Mate, imagine. Did you see Pablo Matera during that game? The amount of trolling he was up to was mental. When he touched down, he was like pushing boys. Like every time there was a Springbok around him, he was like, nah, you're having something. He was niggly. He best ever packed his parachute. I feel like he'd end up out the emergency exit.
Oh my God. Are you joking? Is that right? Is that confirmed? They're all on the same flight?
Which is why I texted you, Ryan, saying, text Apalele and tell us what's going on. Who got business class seats?
Bloody hell, that is crazy, isn't it? That is crazy.
don't
Well, we'll
want-
find
you
out. We'll
don't
have to go
want
and get the
that kind of-
gossip.
That amount of testosterone post a match, right? In a pressurized cabin, 20,000 feet in the air. Could be a perfect storm.
Fucking hell.
Few drinks.
Now I understand why you were texting me that, Mark. I was like, what is he talking about? He's asking me to get the business class list. I'm like, this bloke's gone mad. He's just trying to double check who else gets to fly in business like him. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? Now I fully understand what you were asking me. That is crazy. It's going to be a big old finish. Let's move on, though. Fiji were beautiful. I know we caught up with Ben, but it's just amazing to see. I'm so happy for my Fijian brethren to do the job. Against Eddie Jones's men, there's nothing sweeter, is there? They were on fire. They really did pull away at the end. Tosoviti. Oh my God, can you imagine those boys after that on the piss in Japan? Ooh, Veita. But there we have it. The roundup of the internationals is done and dusted.
Well, we are delighted to be joined by Leicester's star new signing. If it isn't, Ben Volavola!
Hi, boys.
Bula
Vanaka.
He's in the car. He's hiding from the missus and the kids.
The old Simon Zebo. Very good. Well,
It's the only safe place, isn't it, when you got kids?
I've got one, and to be fair, he's pretty easy. So, just moved into our new place and haven't got the Wi-Fi all sorted, so had to find somewhere to get a connection to get to chatting with you boys.
Yeah, mate. Good to have you on, Benny boy. Good to have you on. God, last time I saw you was over in Fiji somewhere, I think, when we were all getting up to all sorts. But it's been a while since then, mate. It's been a while since then. You must have. We'll start with the Fiji stuff. How happy to see the boys do the job over there in the PNC.
So happy. I mean, the PNC means a lot to us as a squad, and it's just good to see the program thriving at the moment with those young guys.
Yeah, you don't. I don't know whether you want to get into the old politics and stuff because there's a fair bit getting thrown about at the moment. With I saw Knife Level who came out saying some stuff, and who backed him up the other day? One of the boys backed him up, didn't they? I think it was Penny Ravai, maybe.
Yeah.
He sort of come out and said, "No, we've got to sort some things out in Fiji. It's not fair."
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it was there before I was a part of the program. It was there while I was a part of the group. And it's just unfortunate because as a playing squad, we strive to achieve things that teams of ours haven't achieved. But then in the background, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, too right. Have you spoken to anyone in camp recently, just asking how things are? Because the feel of things and the team that won that PNC, other than like Albert Tuasui, is Albert still at Gloucester this season? He is, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's mainly a majority of the boys that have been playing over in the Enduro, eh?
Mm-hmm. I think it's an opportunity for those guys to put their hands up for future campaigns for the Flying Fijians. Obviously, the guys on this side of the world were preparing for the season that has started already. So it was a good opportunity for those guys in the draw setup to start playing within the white jersey.
Yeah, because Mark, we went and interviewed Mick the Kick, didn't we? Mick Byrne, and like he was talking about how he pretty much put Japan on their sort of, way to where they are, the path to success. And then Eddie Jones is obviously there, but boy, I'll tell you what, I was quite happy to see Mick the Kick come out on top of that one against Eddie Jones. It's a beautiful thing to see. Eddie's fucking head going in the box. Did you see how angry he looked?
Yeah, I caught the game as well. And I mean, Japan were thereabouts for at least 45, 50 minutes. And then the boys just ran away with it in the last half an hour.
Have you had a chat with Mick Byrne with the head coach?
Not for a few months now. I think when he first got the job, we had a conversation with the overall senior group. And he sort of made it known his aspirations for himself individually and for the group collectively. But since then, no chat, no.
So from your perspective, you just concentrate on day in, day out at the Tigers and let that do the talking for now?
That's it, yeah. I mean, I was given a great opportunity to join such a quality squad, and we have an awesome coaching staff and the guys behind the scenes with our medical and stuff. I mean, I'm starting to really enjoy my rugby again, and I hope that's come out in the first 2 trial games and also in the game on the weekend.
Yeah, Benny boy, where were you before you came back to Leicester?
I played 1 season with Argentina in the Pro D2 competition last year, and then before that I was at Racing.
Oh, so yeah, because I remember you at Racing, and I didn't know you'd gone down to Argentina. How was that? How was that on the gut? Smoking back on the fags?
No, not quite.
Mate, I thought Pro D2 is pretty much and a couple of bread rolls.
No, to be fair, the competition has really raised its quality. I mean, you see some of the boys who have gone there and joined the competition this year. Year after year, the competition just gets better and better because, I mean, the top half of that competition have aspirations to get into the top 14. So it just seems like every year the Pro D2 are just getting more and more competitive.
Oh, that is mental, actually, when you think about it. Yeah, look at the caliber of players that have signed in the Pro D2 this year. Mate, mental.
Yeah, so I remember the first day we arrived in Argentine. The coach and the president took myself and my family around the club, and you just see the on a financial basis the money that they're putting into these clubs because of the aspirations they have to getting into the top 14. I mean, like some of the parts of the club had more updated things in, for example, like your recovery centers and your gyms were on par with the racing stuff, like the Racing 92 stuff.
Bloody hell.
And these guys are still in the Pro D2, and you're walking around shaking your head like, no wonder there's so much competition in this competition as well, in this tournament.
Ben, I don't want to be pernickety, but you said I'm starting to enjoy my rugby again, which kind of indicates that you may not have had the best time down in Argentine. So is that correct? Have you refining your love? What happened beforehand?
Yeah, just on a personal basis, we had a disappointing year collectively as a team. They have actually great talent, young talent coming up through the grades, through their SPOT program, and now joining into the professional team. But for myself personally, I was quite disappointed toward the end as the season came to an end, not making the playoffs. Obviously, having aspirations to try and get Argentine into the playoffs and fight for a spot to maybe getting into top 14. And we weren't even in the top 6. So I found last year as a massive learning experience for myself. And then just starting preseason and when I joined the Leicester group, just the style they played. And then obviously you would have seen the character within the team in the win on Saturday, sorry. And just to be a part of that group who are willing to just work hard for each other and the objectives that their team have individually, but collective as a globally as well, is just really special to be a part of. I really enjoy that.
I'll tell you what, Ben. Let's take a quick look, just so you can enjoy it at the same time as us. We put together a little bit of a something now, just the last few moments and what it's meant to all.
There they go. Try awarded. Right at the death.
Jesus, you nearly took off. Holy CMJ. You can see old Cheika. But that is it. Last play of the game. Oh, look at that.
Look at that beauty.
To seal a wonderful win for the Tigers. The first for
and obviously that fellow there, one of the boys, was there was a red card. Was there a red card in the game?
Yes, I think it was on Solomone, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, was it was it?
No, when he got knocked out, yeah.
He got a head clash,
He knocked
right?
himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he get a head clash with one of the other boys?
Yendel, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was the first one.
Yeah, and then he goes for Jack Yendel. Goes first into that.
That's the one, yeah.
Who, to be fair, propped him up. I don't know if you saw. It looked like, as in they saw that Solomon, it was going down, and it was like, hey,
yeah.
smashed each other's faces in. But are you okay, mate? So last few moments and everything, because watching that match, man, it felt as though it wasn't going to go your way for most of it, if we're going to be perfectly honest. So, you really see the what it meant as a squad to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that externally, because it obviously did look like they were on top of us. And look, you'd see the stats, and they had all the ball, all the territory. But by the time I got on, whenever we came into a huddle, whenever there were stoppages, the chat was just all calm, led by Benny Youngs especially. And the senior guys within that group, that last 10 to 15 minutes, they were just saying there's going to be an opportunity. It's just up to us whether we take that opportunity when they give it to us. So the calmness within that group was just something awesome to be a part of.
Oh mate, how good! There's a few wise heads in there as well. What's Ben Young's been like?
It's been awesome. I didn't realize how funny that bloke is. It's just so good for the group, and like he speaks so well. I mean, I feel like he'd be a great coach if he chose to be a coach. He's just got a high IQ, rugby IQ, great for the lads, really good energy, and just obviously just trying to pick his brain everywhere I can.
Yeah, too right. And the other person I text during a couple of days, Perese, he said, "Oh mate, I didn't have the best start." He said, "I got a yellow card, dropped the ball twice." He was like, mate, typical debut.
Yeah,
he's a good boy, is he?
He's one of the greats. We were actually staying with him for the last couple of weeks while we were waiting for our place, and he's got a big family of his own, so he's full on. By the time he gets home from training, he's full on till 7:30 till the kids go to bed.
Oh man, good man. And what about Cheika? Sorry, what about Cheika? What's he been like? You obviously, is there a connection there from before?
Yeah. So he was my first professional coach. He gave me my first opportunity at the Waratahs, and I worked with Cheika for 3 years, the first 3 years of my career, and I was blessed because our team at that time, the Waratahs, were just stacked. Most of our team were Wallabies going into that 2015 World Cup, and then we won the only premiership that the club has ever won, and that was an awesome year. And just that whole experience was unbelievable for me.
Oh man, we took some shellackings. I was playing for Rebels that year.
Yeah,
up against the Tars. When we went to their place, I swear there were 15 Israel Folau's on that team. I'm not even kidding. The bloke turned up everywhere. I was just like, this is he was like a centaur, lads. Never seen anything like him.
Yeah, stacked. Like even the guys that weren't playing, that were on the bench or the shadow players,
stacked.
They could go to other Aussie teams at that time, and in my opinion, would have started for those Aussie teams. And every Tuesday we'd call, it'd probably be our toughest session on the Tuesday afternoons, and that'd be titled Test Match Tuesdays, and boys were just getting after each other. Like,
oh man, yeah, that was like young Will Skelton first came on the scene as well.
Yeah, Will came on the scene, and I don't know if you guys remember like Wycliffe Palu.
Yeah, Cliff Palu.
Sakopi Kepu, Tatafut Poloronel, these guys all took him under their wings and just, like he always had the size, but in my opinion, it wasn't until Cheika and these guys sort of worked with him, then he became the Will Skelton that everyone knows now.
Yeah, man.
Monster.
Ben, you mentioned also Cheika's being involved with that, and we spoke to him last season, and it was really interesting. He was very kind of interested in the psychology behind the leadership and how important man management is. Is that something that you found working with him?
Massively. Yeah, massively. Obviously, you'd go into probably every team setup, and there'd be a massive emphasis on physical and technical areas. Cheika is obviously onto those things as well, but he's massive on the psychological game as well. And obviously, if you're right in between the years, then everything else basically looks after itself, because everyone knows how to play rugby when you get to this level. It's really when things get tough and the team starts facing tough times is when you start needing to fall on a culture that is founded on strong values. And I think Czech is big on that.
Yeah, he seems like the sort of coach that manages to bring the boys together, get like a family feeling going on, and that's one of the things he'll be looking to do at Leicester, bringing new boys all in there as well. Must be a good feeling behind the club already. I feel like big time,
and he does that. He does it with. He's a fair man, but he's also a very truthful man. Like, he will tell you when you're good, but he'll also tell you if you need to work on something. And I think it's fair to say that once he started with this team, because it's obviously his first season with the club, the dressing room just got behind him straight away, just because of the feeling that he brought to the club.
Benny boy, what about the bus journey back then? Because you've seen the celebrations, Cheika after. Because I saw it on social media just briefly, and I was like, I think he's overcooking this celebration. And then I realised the context of it, like last minute winner, where Max was a bit dubious about it because he reckons that someone's crawling underneath someone's legs. But there were no screams. There were no screams from Exeter saying, "Hold on a minute, he's running to his own man."
Yeah, I mean, it happened so quickly, and I don't think anyone sort of saw that. Yeah. I think he scored the try fair and square, but
weird one. Yeah, good.
No, but Czech wears his heart in his sleeve. He's a very emotional man, and if he's not scared to show his emotions, and I think he was really happy because the one thing we have been working on as a group during the off season was the team's character. And he obviously said it to us at the end of the game that it wasn't a perfect game from us. But the one thing that did shine through was our character not giving up. And I think that is why he was quite happy at the time. We'll obviously go tomorrow and review the game and get all technical and everything. But like I said before, I think our foundations are firm in regard to our character at the moment.
Nice, man. And what about the bus journey back? It's quite a long one, isn't it, from Chiefs? Because it's a tough old place to go, Sandy Park. Like, first game of the season, to go down to Sandy Park and get a win down at the Chiefs. So there must have been some celebrations on the bus. Any, like, first cap duties, any initiations on the way back?
No, not really. I mean, we sort of had a beer in the bus. But it was sort of. Yeah, but it was quite mellow, to be fair. We did the announcements of first caps in the change room. Solomoni got his 20-game tie for playing his 20th game for the club.
And his head back.
Yeah. And on the bus was actually pretty mellow. The boys were watching the boxing. Some of us were watching the Argentinian Springboks game. So yeah, it was a quiet one.
Boring.
And are you finding living in Leicester then? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's a different experience.
A different experience.
But I did live in Argentine for a year before coming here, so it was probably a good warm up before coming here. To be fair, the 3 weeks that I've been in Leicester, the weather's been unbelievable. It's only really been this week where it started raining. But every training session, every training day has been awesome.
Oh, delightful! You've got it good so far. Wait till we
I looked at the forecast for this week, and it's not looking like the last 3 weeks.
Monsoon season right now.
Yeah,
tough out there.
Who have you got this weekend?
We've got Bath. We've got Bath at home.
Ooh.
Oh, but back up there, back at Welford Road.
Yes, yeah, at home. Yeah. So they've obviously they've had a good win last week over in Bath, grand final repeat. So it's going to be obviously a massive game, first home game as well for us. Expecting the stadium to be packed.
Yeah, man. And there's a familiar face there as well. You were at Racing with Finn the Muscle.
Yeah, good man. One of the greats. Was blessed to be able to play with and alongside Finn for 4 years. Obviously, he was at Racing for 5. Fluent in French and everything. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing him on Saturday.
Catching up with him, hopefully going toe-to-toe with him as well, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Jamie had a solid game last week as well, so just willing to see what the coach's plans are for this week and just go full steam ahead for Saturday.
Yeah, Northampton looked like they had it out for him. I'll tell you that for sure. I was watching bits of the game and they were just going after him like left, right and centre.
Yeah, I could see him as well mouthing off a little bit.
Yeah, he was giving it. He was giving it big licks. Yeah. I know, but they had to pay him back. Yeah,
no, he's one of the best. He's one of the best and has been for a number of seasons now, in my opinion.
Amazing. Ben, you're such a legend. Thank you for taking the time to come and chat to us. Good luck for the rest of the season, and we hope you enjoy your time over in England.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it,
bro.
Benny boy, all the best, and make sure you. Oh, he's just gone. We punted him. There he goes. No rest for the wicked in here. Jesus.
And we'd like to say a big thank you and a big shout out to our sponsors of the show who have been with us from day one. Wolf Craig Distillers. If you hit the link below, you can get yourself a nice little tipple or something to warm the cockles in this horrendous weather. Anyway, big thank you to Wolf Craig.
Let's move on to the Prem. Bath versus Northampton in a rematch of the final from last season. They're playing it down. Bit of a spicy rivalry, right? Lots going on here. Tasty hits, bit of needle.
How are they playing this down? Because it just had everything. They were going hell for leather. Every time anything happened, they're all trying to scrap each other. You love to see it, but Bath in complete control. Finn was getting hunted down there. There is a little bit of beef building there. That is a rivalry, isn't it, Max? Now,
yeah, it is now. The retribution was real, though, wasn't it? The Bath, we're not going to be denied this day.
Have you ever been involved in like a proper punch up, fellas? Like, as in where it's just windmills left, right, and centre?
Not in a game of rugby, unless you're talking about like League One or something, or Nat 3.
No, but like that's a Prem game. That's a huge opening night at the Rec.
Yeah, but there wasn't a fight. There wasn't an actual fight, though, was it?
But what I mean is where there's a lot of people that was,
No, it's just like, we dabbled. We've been in a few. Couple of broken up scrums here and there.
But all you can do is push and pull now and grab a shirt.
You see, that was a punch up. Big Jim and David Pace, I was in that game. That was a proper punch up.
Yeah, gone are the days of that. You get in a lot of trouble for that nowadays.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Look, fair play to Bath.
You sound as regretful as you normally would about these conversations, Ryan. But in any case, great win for Bath, and they're being talked up as the favourites.
Bloody hell, it's a bit early, isn't it? You can't start going the favourites straight off the bat. First weekend.
Well, we previewed. Yeah, but we previewed. Not much has changed with them. Like, they've not lost anyone particularly integral. The whole squad stayed together, and they've probably signed some outstanding talent, people like Guy Pepper, etc. So they're gonna be up there. They're gonna be at the big boys' table coming out of the season.
Right, boys. It's kind of harsh what we're gonna do. And again, we're gonna talk about a Sale Quinn's game, which really was pretty poor as entertainment. Even Sonnerson was saying that they need to do better. But we are just going to play a clip because it is very funny, and it's nothing to do with. We all know how amazing Lee Halfpenny is, arguably the greatest Welsh kicker of all time. But this is the commentator's curse. Can we play it, Shaq?
He did chuckle. He did chuckle to himself at this point.
So the pleasure for Harlequins is that they now employ a near enough 90% goal kicker. Watch this fly wide. Cheers, there Ali. We go. 89%. That is as
God.
wide a kick as I think I've ever seen Lee Halfpenny miss by.
Lee Halfpenny, he never
Ryan,
misses.
that needed to be you, I think. I feel like that's a classic you moment.
Do you
I'm sad
actually,
it
and do you
wasn't.
know what? You feel like an idiot when you say stuff like that just before it's about to happen as well, like the commentator's curse. But that is,
You're like
if
the
ever
same.
there was a commentator's curse, that went about 20 metres fucking wide, didn't it? And it ended up at the bloody corner flag. Poor bloke. But yeah, they there was some big old results. Early days, isn't it? And we'll see how that unfolds in the Premiership.
I will say that just when we're talking with Ben about Leicester and Harlequins, Leicester, obviously Leicester and Exeter, sorry. Ryan, your dark horses for the season. Exeter, yours, Max. So I think it's first blood to Ryan. I hate to be kind to him, but that is the truth, I'm afraid, Maxie. But now let's put our favourite broadcaster on all of our screens in the spotlight. Unless you've got any more to add, a good win for Sarries, for instance. And I think that's more or less where we are. So let's go to our URC, shall we?
URC. Oh, baby. It was, do you know what? For the first time ever, it was the closest ever round in the URC. Only 12 points, like, apart from all the teams. And it was like 33-31. It was 32 something. Everything was so close. The opening night started with Cardiff doing Zebre. They're top of the league. My dark horses.
Shido, man of the match.
And there we have it. I went out there, said they are definitely my dark horse. I know it's early doors, but they're top of the league. Who else played on Friday night? Well, I was at the Edinburgh versus Leinster game. Edinburgh probably slightly flattered, even though they've got one of the most ridiculous backlines in rugby at the moment. Probably flattered a little bit. Sione Tuipulotu's brother, Mosese Tuipulotu, had his first game, which was lovely to see him out there. He's exactly the same as Sione. It's crazy. Maggie had a good game. Magnus Bradbury, when he came on, robust. But yeah, Leinster got the job done, did a job on them. And then to the next day, there was a fair few results, but the ones that stick out, Munster Connacht, big old game there. Josh Ioane, who came over from the Chiefs, 72 Super Caps, All Black cap. He is now the 10 for Connacht. He looks like a piece of kit.
Doesn't he? Played in the pre-season. Very, very handy.
Yeah. He looked pretty sharp for them. But then the big one, boys. Oh, crikey. I've talked them up, the champs, giving them big licks, saying that they need the respect that they're due, and then they don't go and get the job done against Ulster. Ulster just clung in there for like 50 minutes. Glasgow were brilliant. They did everything. They played all the rugby. They never took the points. They just kept going to the corner, doing what Franco Smith's men normally do. But they just couldn't get it over the line. And right at the end, you thought they'd snuck it. They go all the way up the side.
Let's have the clip. We've got a clip. Ryan, if you want to rewatch it.
Oh, here it is.
See the good moments first.
And look at that. Rory Darge, little offload inside to Carl Stone, the captain. And that was it. I was like, this is it. 75 minutes. Glasgow have come back. But look at this. The clock is in the red. 84 minutes on the bloody clock. And Ulster have managed to sneak under and get a try. There was a few dubious decisions, like I said. Adam Jones, there was a turnover back up the other end where Darge got on the ball clear as day and he never gave it.
How did Werner Koch go?
Oh, no, he came on. He was pretty good. I interviewed. Yeah, very good player. Interviewed him afterwards. Said, you were here recently with the Stormers. Got that wrong. Play for the Sharks. Yeah, like complete capitulation. But it was, a tough one for the Glasgow boys. But we're all right. Don't worry about them. They'll be okay. They'll be back in the horse. But a big old weekend in the URC, and that's it. Rugby is up and running, boys. We're back. Everyone is back. Prem's back.
The machine is whirring. How good.
Exactly, and we're back.
And both champs down, by the way. Losses in the first round. Both champs. URC champ down, Northampton down. So it begins.
It's your year, Max. It's your year. Just a tiny bit of, thanks to all the people who wrote in. We had a lot of emails coming in. We don't really have enough time to go through all of them, but a huge thank you to Sam Howell, who gave us a heads up on the Australian rugby missing out on talent going to the NRL. Max, you would like that? I'll make sure that you have a look at that. But he pointed out some of the great guys: Payne Haas, Bradman Best, Latchell Mitchell, Isaiah Yeo, all these guys going across, and that should have been. They need to capture more effectively of the NRL guys to really stand a fighting chance. And also a bit of housekeeping for the two of you. You haven't done it this episode, so it's fine. But we did get a very nice email, from Joe May. It came in from Jay May. I was like, oh, Johnny May saying hello. But it's Joe May saying, no more nicknames. Could you not just say nicknames, but if you do use nicknames and you caught yourself with Bradders, and then you gave us the actual names, because for those who don't know who you're talking about, Max, you could be a bit guilty of that, talking about, Guzzler 69 and Pizza Boy and all these guys, and no one's ever heard of who these people are.
Fair enough. That's my boyfriend.
I've set stuff up for that. Very good. So yeah, that we will keep that in mind. We will keep that in mind. Well, as a special little treat for all you maulers or nothingers, I don't know if we'll come up with a better name for our fans out there, but there is a huge fight this weekend at the Hydro in Glasgow, and we have got none other than Stevie Braveheart Ray in the house. There he is, and straight away knows to go. What a pro, straight into the landscape over the portrait. Stevie, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad, boss. Pleasure to have you on.
Here he bloody is. Yeah, you must have trouble getting the old push-ins in those lugs.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked, man.
Yeah, buddy.
That is it. War wounds, mate. I mean, as rugby players, we know all about it. Me and Max, you're all right, eh?
I got a little bit in this puppy. He's coming on, but I think people are like more sensitive to it than others, eh? Especially when you're getting punched in the ears. Yeah, it gets a bit different. Yeah,
that probably doesn't help. Stevie, listen, you're obviously getting ready for a huge fight. We appreciate you jumping on here to chat to us. Us couple of idiots. Mark's not coming because he's scared. But us couple of idiots are coming down to the Hydro on Saturday. Max has come up from Bristol. He's got a game Friday night, but we'll be up in Glasgow and come along to the fight. How's the prep going, mate?
Aye, prep's going good, man. This fight's at welterweight, so easy days. I'm still able to kind of eat a lot, and fight week's been a lot more miserable, put it that way. But being at 170, I could eat a bit more. My energy's a bit better, and I'm buzzing for it.
Oh, how good! So, mate, because we've obviously been doing a little bit of a look back at your career, but you've had some big old fights in the UFC before, haven't you?
Yeah, I had 11 fights in the UFC. I was 7 wins, 4 losses, so it was actually no bad. I fought some really high-level guys, beat some of them as well. No, I started MMA from scratch at the age of 19. I hadn't done any sports apart from football. I played football, so I was athletic. I had went to like a boxing gym now and again for fitness and to learn the basics. But yeah, MMA from scratch. If anything, I was just fighting in the street and getting up to no good before I started MMA.
Oh, so you do, but what you love about it is just the violence, like.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, I started MMA on a tag. I was just out of prison, it was always just for fighting. Like, I don't know, I just seemed I was getting into fights all the time. I think it's the alcohol, man, honestly. See, I've got a few charges, obviously. I've been arrested a few times, and every single time it's been when I've been intoxicated with alcohol.
You've retired a couple of times, haven't you? Is that correct? And then you've come back?
Yeah. So the first time was like through frustration. So I fought in the UFC. My last fight in the UFC was the biggest one in my career. I beat Michael Johnson in Singapore.
That's huge. Big fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I signed a new 4-fight deal with the UFC. I was due to fight Mark Diakese at UFC London. I had to pull out for the first time in my career due to a knee injury. And yeah, it got weird with the UFC. One of the orthopedic surgeons, I think his name is Jeff Davidson, he said that, you know, based on my knee, that I should never fight again. And that what was wrong with my knees, it was not a quick term fix. Like, it was basically just that I was fucked. So the UFC asked me to get orthopedic clearance. So I did. I think they were shocked that I got it. And it was just this weird process where my manager, Ali Abdelaziz, he was saying, he was like, the UFC are wanting to get rid of you. Yeah, it was just weird, man. They were saying like that I had to go as a free agent, or if I didn't, they were going to cut me. So it was like I didn't have a choice. I'm not even sure it was legal, what they did. But yeah, but they're such a big company, you know, if I tried to like dispute it, it wouldn't have worked probably. So I then retired frustrated. I was like, you know what? Fuck MMA, fuck the sport. I've absolutely dedicated my life to this. And to get cut off the biggest win in my career, I was just like, fuck this sport. I'm fighting Lewis Long. Welsh.
He's a Welsh fellow, is he?
Yeah.
Scotland versus Wales, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Are you going to dish him up?
We'll chop his head off.
and you, so if for anyone watching, you can scan the link there. There's a link to the tickets. You jump on there. There's only a few left. Hydro's an unreal place to go. I've been there a few times, not to see people chop people's heads off. I've seen monster trucks with the kids there actually, but and you're all basically in pursuit of this $1 million purse, right?
What's that for this fight this weekend? No, so
no, all the way to the end of the league.
It's a normal fight for me. Scotland versus Wales.
You're just doing it for shits and gigs.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm just there to fuck shit up.
Stevie, who's been your hardest fight? Like in terms of like out and out, even the wins. Like who was the toughest guy you've fought against?
So one of the hardest fights I had that I won. Because obviously I would have to say, you know, the ones I lost were the hardest, obviously. But one of the hardest that I won, I remember I fought a guy, Scott Ward. This was just on the local shows. It was on a show called SFC. And this is before anybody really knew, like, who I was. And a lot of people that were at that fight say that it was one of the best kind of experiences they've seen. Basically, I got the shit kicked out of me for the whole of round one. He took my back, got a body triangle, and just punched me like 500 times. The fight was very close to getting stopped, but I just kept moving. And then basically, I think he tired himself out trying to finish me, and because he couldn't finish me, I took his soul basically. I came back. I won round 2. And then I won round 3 as well. And honestly, it was like taking his soul. Like I think he fought again once after that. But he was one of the biggest prospects in Scotland. He was huge as well. He's way bigger than me at the time. I fought at welterweight, and he was just way bigger than me. And Hart won me that fight. You know, in terms of technicality, he was the way better fighter, but I wanted it more, and I took his soul.
Oh,
in kilos, what are you? How heavy do you
weigh? Right now I'm like 80 kilo, so fairly light. I'm fighting at 77, so it's an easy cut for me. If I was fighting at 70 kilos on Saturday, right now I would probably be like 77. So I'd have like 7 kilos to go by Friday.
What?
Maybe more. Sometimes more.
How'd you do
that? So my UFC debut, I took it on 2 weeks' notice. The Monday, so it's Monday today, I was 79 kilo, and I had to be 70 on the Friday. That was rough. Yeah, that was rough.
How do you fight after that? So by the time you rehydrate, eat, You get to the fight.
So
you still are you feeling pretty much normal again, or are you still pretty weird?
Yeah, so we weigh in Friday morning at like between 9 and 11 o'clock in the morning. So usually if it was lightweight, I'd be feeling like shit. You're lucky if I could do 30 push-ups. But I then don't fight until like Saturday at 10 o'clock. So you've got like 36 hours. So when I fought, so even that first fight, when I weighed in at 70 kilogram, I went in the cage again at 83. So I put on 13 kilos. And, in the 30 hours. Well, actually, I'm saying in the 30 hours, I probably went from 70 kilo to 80 kilo within like 4 or 5 hours. Just all the fluids going back in.
Do you think that's the best way to do the weigh-ins? Like, how would you change it, or is that just how it should be?
Yeah, probably, man. Because you know what? There's other people that have tried to make it like same day weigh-ins. People would still cut weight, and it's more dangerous because then they're going in with a dehydrated brain. Like people are going to fuck up, or they'll just choose to cut weight anyway. And if you're cutting 4 to 6 kilo or close to 10% of your body weight, it's already dangerous doing it day before weigh-in. Never mind on the day. You've not got time to rehydrate your body, never mind your brain. So yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, I think One AFC have done something pretty good.
They've got like the test, is it?
They've got like a rehydration clause where you've got to pass a hydration test.
Yeah.
So I think, if I'm right, they do that test a few weeks before the fight, maybe 2 weeks before, then 1 week before, and then maybe even fight week as well to make sure. But there's still ways around it, man. I've got a couple of teammates that's fought on a One AFC, and they're basically cutting weight for the rehydration. So they'll cut a bit of weight, then they'll rehydrate a bit, and they're still,
Yeah, just game.
It's absolute madness. Well, listen, I know that Mark's around your weight, so we'll have to, at some point when he's over from Singapore, organise a little match-up, get you boys in there and spar, because I would pay a fucking shitload of money to get Mark in the cage, in the octagon with you. Stevie, all the best for this weekend, mate. It's we're looking forward to it. Me and Max will be buzzing. Max will be there cheering away, and we hope you go and do what you say, tear his head off and win it for Scotland, big man. Stevie the Braveheart.
William Wallace. Cheers,
too right. All the best, Stevie. Thanks very much.
Cheers,
Cheers for having me, boys. See you,
pal.
Love you, man. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Well, boys, I'm telling you now, Mark, imagine we can get.
No, bro.
Imagine we could get, but just for a laugh, get Mark in a ring with him and just have a little wrestle. How long do you reckon you could last, Mark?
Mate, he would.
Well, it depends. If it was about how long, I just be running.
Let Mark speak. But I want to hear Mark speak. Mark, what do you reckon? Like, how long
could you last? It's probably taken my soul before I've even got in the ring.
Yeah.
So I'm just this soulless little man in the ring.
Think back to Nutface Mark. What would Nutface Mark do?
Channel that fury. That public school fury.
Public school fury that no one has.
That no one ever has. Ryan, I reckon he'd tap you about 10 times, 8 times in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be like a spider monkey, just like around my back.
In a minute. It'd be so horrible, mate. I've seen where he's competed in like only grappling as well. He's beaten Anthony Peters. Mate, he's beaten Michael Johnson. He's beaten some horrible.
Yeah, but Max, listen.
Ryan, your dad's strength and your desperation for life won't get you through that. That bloke needs more bad days.
Well, we will see. We're going down there on Saturday to the Hydro, to the Octagon. We're going to have a little mess about. We're maybe getting some pads. There's going to be sparring people down there, so we're going to try and get involved with them. We will see, Max. Looking forward to that one. And keep your eyes peeled because we're going to do a little YouTube special of myself and Maximus just wrestling and fighting. And that's I wish you were there, Mark, because I would just be like, Mark was saying that he would have battered you to everyone.
You would have. That's the sad thing is, you really would have done, just to complete random huge people who might be fighters and be like, mate, he just mugged you off. No reason, don't even know him. Sadly, that is all the time we've got left for this week. A huge thank you to Ryan and Max, but especially a huge thank you to Ben and to Stevie, and to all of you for listening. Don't forget to hit us up at the More or Nothing YouTube page, and to subscribe to our Instagram and download everything there. But before then, I think it's probably worth finishing with our favourite Flying Fijians in fine voice, as always, after their fabulous victory. Wananavu. Enjoy.
Wananavu.
More or Nothing.